everyone. So I want to share my story with you. It all started when my parents fell in love and wanted to get married. But my mother's side family did not agree to their marriage as they belong to different religions. My father's name is Atif Kamruddin and my mother's name was Nimi Dhananjayan. Although initially there were disagreements between my both families, my mother's side family had to eventually give in. They got married in Alibag, where my father's side family belonged. A few years later, my mother conceived and I was born. Originally, I was named Zainat. When I was 2 years old, my parents left me with my paternal grandparents and shifted to Dubai for work purposes and settled there. As time passed, my parents began to have constant arguments and conflicts with each other. I was just 4 years old when my world turned upside down when my father Atif brutally murdered my mother Nimi in Dubai. My father then tried to flee to Mumbai, but he was caught at the airport by the Dubai police and was then convicted and sentenced to death in the UAE, which I had no memory of or nor was I was told about it. My paternal grandparents brainwashed me and they convinced me that my maternal grandmother, Usha Dhananjayan, had killed my mother. I was left orphan, caught in the middle of a bitter custody battle between my two grandmothers from drastically different worlds. This struggle went on for 5 years. My paternal grandparents, belonging to a radical and deeply conservative household, forcefully took me away, determined to raise me within their rigid and oppressive worldview. Until then, I was still being called Zenat. Their desperation to gain permanent custody led them down a dark path which led my maternal grandmother Usha to seek help from Dr. Abraham Matai. Then they attempted to bribe Dr. Abraham Matai, offering blood money, to convince my maternal grandmother Usha Dhananjayan to forgive the murderer and drop the case. When Dr. Matai firmly refused, they stooped lower, torturing me to falsely accuse my maternal relative of sexually abusing me, hoping to influence the court against my maternal family. But truth, no matter how deeply buried, finds its way to the light. A thoughtful judge sensed that I had been tortured and ordered a second medical examination which confirmed the allegations were false. This case went on from High Court to Supreme Court, and Dr. Matai was adamant to set me free even if he had to sell his own property. After nearly 5 years, the case collapsed, and in November 2017, justice prevailed. The custody was rightfully granted to my maternal grandmother, Usha, and she gave me a new name called Nimisha, a name symbolizing my mother's name as a fresh start and a future filled with promise. With the moral courage of Dr. Matai, I was rescued from a future of forced submission. Had I remained with my father's family, I would likely have been silenced, married off young, and denied any opportunity for education or independence. Instead, I blossomed under my grandmother Usha's loving care. I began to heal, found solace in books, and slowly reclaimed my identity, not as a victim but as a victor. Today I am 16 years old and have completed my 10th board exam with flying colors, and I am currently in my 11th standard with dreams of becoming a doctor and also cracking the UPSC examinations to fight for justice, especially for girls like myself, silenced by society and circumstances. I now proudly call Dr. Abraham Matai Daddy number 1, a testament to the fatherly love and unwavering protection he provided when I needed it the most. What began as a story of violence and loss for me has become a powerful tale of resilience, courage, and transformation in my life. My story is not just my own, it is a reminder of the strength of truth, the power of justice, and the life-changing impact of those who dare to stand up against injustice. I want to be a role model and help more girls by motivating them to stand up for themselves. Thank you very much.